Well, hello everybody. Welcome back down into the dungeon. JT Bear country, as it were. It's become time to do a little work on some of those tomato seedlings that have sprouted up. I've got some true leaves, and I wanted to try those underneath the PVC LED strips that I've got going there. So I'm going to transplant a few of those today. But I wanted to talk to you about some of the awesome things you can find in thrift stores. Like most things out here, the nearest really decent thrift store is about half an hour away. But I've noticed that every time I go there, they seem to have a new selection of books. A lot of you have seen my previous video, and you know, I am influenced by books. I'm a reader. It is what it is. But I want to show you 50 cents that I have spent at that bookstore, and you can judge for yourself, you know, how well that money was spent. Picked this up for a whopping dime. I've started going through it today, actually, because I want to start working on all those tomato seedlings. But, you know, this is not... Open up for me, will you? This is not a bad investment for a whopping 10 cents. The back end of it's full of recipes. There's ketchups and salsas and soups and all kinds of things in there. I am really looking forward to diving into that. And, you know, really, for a dime, right? So I'm kind of sitting there reading that in the background while I'm clicking videos on that swag bucks thing. Here's another one picked up for a whopping 10 cents. But I mean, gardening in all 4 seasons, ultimately that's my goal. So, you know, great idea there. I'd heard about this one from a few people. I can't remember what in particular they were saying, but Pharmacopedia, 10 cents, apples to zucchini, everything in between. Love a good hardcover. Not quite sure, you know, how long it's going to take me to digest this little bit of information. But it does seem to have quite a bit in there. Oh look, more recipes. Orange squares. Hey, those look pretty good, actually. And just that fast, Mr. Bear got distracted. Might have to try those. And without taking the time to flip through the books, drip system watering and lasagna gardening, both good ideas that I need to make use of out in our big old yard that we're converting there. So yeah, 50 cents. There's a lot of knowledge that I will be able to get from that 50 cents. It's one of those things I always kind of laugh at people about. Oh, 10 cents, 5 cents, what's the point in all that? Well, there you go. I got an awful lot of information out of a couple of 5 and 10 cent options. So, yeah. Anyway, let's look at the seedlings because I want to start playing with them today. Gotta find somewhere better for this sand dollar. Anyway, slide it out of the way. Check on the fish. They're all hiding. Yeah, okay. Anyway, now that I can get over here, I noticed that one of these, this one here, seems to have some true leaves popping up in the center of it. So what variety is this, I wonder? This is the red pear variety. So I guess these are the first tomatoes we're going to be transplanting. Looking around, it looks like these Better Boy hybrids have a couple with them true leaves on them as well. So maybe we'll transplant a couple of those. And I really like this variety, so let's fiddle about with the indigo rose ones as well. Just fiddling about with a few things on the shelf here, trying to figure out how to make space, and I think this little tray is going to end up being used for tomatoes, ultimately. All these other little planters are just kind of sitting in there for now, but if I do that, then I can just pull out one, water them all from the bottom. Don't have to worry about soaking the tops, right? In theory, I won't be drowning my plants. In theory. We'll find out, I guess. So quick and easy, I transplanted 3 of them into these little containers. Let them soak up a little bit from this loaf pan, failed previous experiment. And I left one in the cup up here under the fluorescent light as kind of a backup, in case the LEDs don't work out as well for the tomatoes as they have been for the peppers. At least I know it likes fluorescent light. All I'm doing to separate these young seedlings is kind of taking this broken stem from one of my old labels and loosening up the soil just a little bit, gently kind of sliding it through there. It's easier with 2 hands, like most things in the garden, but once they're nice and loose, I can pull them out or dump them out or whatever and get to transplanting. So I've noticed that the Better Boy hybrids are starting to wilt a little bit on me, so I'm going to leave them in half bottles. But kind of looks like, even though they're really dirty, These red pear tomatoes might just be okay. We'll see. If they wilt too bad, I can always grab some half bottles for them as well. And I guess that leaves 2 little indigo rose. Although only one will be going down under that light, and the other will be joining its friends on top of the aquaponic garden. Did a little wiggling and rearranging while the furnace was on, so now we're basically set up. These are all tomatoes. I got a couple of basil and a mint left in here still, but I'm certain I'll be able to fill those remaining spaces up with some of those seedlings back there. Do still have quite a few tomato varieties in here. Just waiting on some more true leaves, and then I guess I'll get to planting. Wanted to get some of this Swiss chard, however you pronounce it, planted into the aquaponic garden. I think I might put that one in the spot behind Miles the turtle there. These leeks desperately need to be transplanted into something else as well, but I think they can grow in here for a little while. Let them get actually crowded first. Dill, I know nothing about. There seem to be some leaves forming in there. I can't tell if they're true leaves or not. A little feedback on that would be great. But yeah, let's move some of these chard seedlings today too. And of course the sand dollar is once again directly in my way to get to over there, where I've got a space to plant all these. Alright, made it over. Don't normally get to view my little dungeon garden from this particular angle, but I want to get some of these chard seedlings into here. This is definitely a two-handed job, so we will be checking back when I have accomplished that. I don't think I'm putting all of them in though. Probably leave quite a few in this cup and leave them with the turtle here. Alright, well, I'm not entirely sure how deep I need to put seedlings into this little tiny garden, so I'd stuck them far enough in there that I could feel some moisture on the clay pellets, so hopefully that will be enough to keep the roots going. The mint actually looks really good from this angle. Now I do know that the lights on these fluorescent lights are apparently not quite as strong on the ends as they are in the middle, so I might want to try putting some over here with the mint at some later date, but for now, like I said, I'm just going to leave them chilling with Miles the turtle here and see how they do in that little cup. Doesn't take much chard to feed a family. It's a pretty sharp taste. Alright, and I guess that's where I'm going to wrap it up today. I kind of want to dive into those books and make sure I'm giving these tomatoes as good of a head start as I possibly can. And yeah, so I imagine there'll be another video tomorrow. This daily thing just seems to keep on rolling. I don't have any kind of a set time for these videos, but at least I'm getting them out on a daily basis. So we'll take it as it comes, one step at a time, baby steps, all that jazz. Alright everybody, I will see you tomorrow. Take care until then, folks.